So I just saw the newest trailer for Disney's live action Snow White, and I have some thoughts. Hi, I'm Laura from Your Little Sisters Productions, and I have been following the live action Snow White debacle for quite some time. Shout out to Lindsay K. Art for the avatar artwork. I will put her Instagram link below. To review what's happened so far, Rachel Zegler and Peter Dinklage said some untrue things about the original animated Snow White. Disney wasn't going to have the seven dwarfs in the movie. Then they turned back that decision and decided to add CGI dwarves instead of casting actors with dwarfism and push back the release of the film by 1 year. Now we have a new trailer just released, and, well, let's get into it. The first thing I have to get off my chest is what did they do to Rachel Zegler's hair? It looks so flat and then it's weirdly pinned under her jaw. My eyes immediately go to her hair when she's on screen, and not because it looks good. With all the resources Disney has at their disposal, they couldn't get a better hairstyle for her. Not to mention her dress looks kind of like a cheap Halloween costume. Where exactly did all their money go if not into making sure the main character looks good? I also have a bit of a problem with some of these so-called live action remakes being called live action when the majority of what we see on screen is CGI. I understand that when you have forest animals involved, that's kind of what you have to do, but the backgrounds and sets also look as though they were digitally created. They couldn't build realistic set pieces and backgrounds or even film outside in a forest setting. The budget for this movie is $209 million. To give some perspective, The Return of the Jedi cost 32.5 million when it was made. Taking inflation into account from the 1980s to now, that equates to roughly $100 million today. So, Return of the Jedi, with groundbreaking special effects for its time, which also had forest scenes, cost less than this movie being made today, which looks as though it's being made entirely in front of one big green screen. I have heard some people talk about how the dwarves look, and I am personally holding on to criticism on that front until closer to the release date because honestly, they look unfinished to me, and I don't want to harp on something until we see what the final product is. I don't think they should have put them in the trailer before they're fully done, but if they had just cast actors with dwarfism in the first place, we wouldn't have to be worrying about that. Which brings me to my next point. They delayed the film by a year, and instead of bringing on seven actors with dwarfism to play these amazing parts, they just threw more work at their special effects team, who, from what I saw, are already creating everything else in the movie, so what could go wrong? They use the song Whistle While You Work in the trailer, and it sounds different from the original, of course. They have to make changes to justify remaking it in the first place. Rachel Zegler can sing. I don't think anyone is disputing that. But I do have to admit, I miss the song being sung in a higher, more light, and happy tone like the original. They also try to make it sound a bit ominous and mysterious throughout other parts of the trailer, which I found hilarious. Of all the songs in that movie, or even in lieu of using an original song, they took one of the happiest sounding songs and tried to change it to suit a darker mood throughout. Also, it seems to be that Snow White isn't actually cleaning during the song. The dwarves are there, which is odd, seeing how in the original movie she hadn't even met them yet. She was crying and scared, and the forest animals took her to the cottage, where she saw a mess and decided to clean up so that the people who lived there would give her sanctuary. She wanted to work and earn her keep. She didn't expect anything for free just because she was the princess, and she wanted to show that she could be a benefit in their home and pull her own weight in exchange for room and board. A very admirable trait that seems to not be a part of this song anymore. It's almost as if Disney is forgetting all the underlying values and morals in their original stories in exchange for appearing more modern. But all it really does is strip their characters of their virtues and make them less likable and the story harder to enjoy. Peter Pan and Wendy is a good example of that. Obviously, we won't know for sure just how many changes they made and what changes they make until the full movie is released, but no matter what else, I will forever be sad at the opportunity that has been taken away from actors with dwarfism, all because Disney and Peter Dinklage didn't bother to watch and understand the original movie. Also, I really want to know why the dwarves are there cleaning the house during Whistle While You Work. I will say, Gal Gadot looks fantastic as the evil queen. Yep, I think that's the only positive thing I can take from the trailer. What did you think of the trailer? Are you excited for this remake, or are you going to skip this one? Let us know in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe, check out our channel memberships and Patreon if you'd like to support us, and I'll see you next time.